Well. Micah Parsons is coming back to Dallas this Sunday, and it seems like that this happened at like warp speed. It seems like only yesterday that Jerry Jones traded Micah Parsons and shocked everybody. And while I was shocked because they traded him, not because I didn't think they should trade him, I just didn't think Jerry would trade him because Jerry normally does this. He did it with Zach. He did it with CD. He did it with Dak. And I'm thinking, well, this is just another one of those issues. He signed Dak Prescott right before the Cleveland game. He would sign Micah Parsons right before our opening game. But here we are today, and now Micah Parsons is coming back to Dallas, but he's going to be in a Green Bay Packer uniform. And nobody is giving the Dallas Cowboys a chance. And people are even saying that if Micah Parsons was on the Cowboys team right now, they would be better. Well, I'm not going to tell you whether or not I believe the Cowboys are going to win. But what I am going to tell you is the truth about Micah Parsons and would the Cowboys really be better if Micah Parsons was here today. Let's talk, Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this video, don't forget at the end to please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And if you see that HYPE button, please hit that button too to help push us out into the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. Micah Parsons is an incredible player. We're not going to sit here and deny that he's not an incredible player. But he's also a very emotional individual. And I'm not going to rehash the whole thing that happened between Jerry and Micah. But nevertheless, here we are. We got the showdown coming up on Sunday. But a lot of people keep saying that this team would be better right now if Micah Parsons was playing for the Cowboys. We're 1-2. People would have you to believe that we're somewhere around game number 10 of the season and we're 2-8. No, we're 1-2. And I know, as I said earlier, typically when the Cowboys give up this many points in the first 3 games, they don't make the playoffs. Well, those things are made to be broken too. It doesn't mean that just because we've done it before that we can't break that and say, no, this time we're going to make the playoffs. But nevertheless, I want to answer the question. Would we be better right now if Micah Parsons was playing with the Dallas Cowboys? Well, the only thing I can truly go by is last year. Micah Parsons was here last year. Micah Parsons was here. Dak was healthy. We didn't have George Pickens. Micah was here. DeMarcus Lawrence was here. DeMarion Overshown was healthy. Would we be better if Micah Parsons was here?
What would you say to when people say, without him, your defense has not been the same? It's not been as good.
I would say that we have not been playing to the standard we want to play to. But if we had Micah, you can't predict that we'd be playing any better. You can't predict we'd be playing any better, any worse. Are you 3-0? Are you 0-3? You don't know. I mean, those are projections. So
when we go back to last season, a lot of people don't realize that this is not new what we're going through right now defensively. Last year, we had a brand new defensive coordinator. What is this, like the 3rd defensive coordinator in 3 years? Dan Quinn, Mike Zimmer, now Matt Eberflus. And so last year we had Mike Zimmer. Everybody was excited because we got Mike Zimmer in. And last year, I'm just telling you, when you think about so many of the things from last year, they were better or should have been better last year than they are this year. I mean, Trayvon Diggs was healthy. I believe DeRon Bland was healthy. I mean, if you would look at last year, the defense is the part where they haven't really changed out as much as we may think. Hooker, Wilson, all those guys were here. The Cowboys last year, when we look, the Cowboys opener, 33-17. The Cowboys then went against the Saints, and we got absolutely mollywopped. The Cowboys got beat by the Saints 44-19. The Cowboys got beat so bad by the New Orleans Saints that people literally thought that that the Saints were going to the Super Bowl. That's how crazy it was. They went on after that to be one of the worst teams in the league. And then we came to the third game. The Baltimore Ravens. Don't let that score fool you. We're gonna dive into these just for a moment. Don't let the Baltimore Ravens score fool you. They beat us 28-25. But the crazy thing is, they absolutely dominated us for 3 straight quarters. And it was only in the last quarter the Cowboys came back. And then when you think about the New York Giants game, that game was an absolute struggle the same way it was this year. We barely beat the New York Giants last year. It literally came down to the last drive. We only beat them 20-15. The game was similar with a lower score. Micah Parsons, I believe, played most of that game, but he got hurt in that game. But nevertheless, we were 1-2 last year with Micah Parsons here and healthy. Yeah. We were 1-2 last year. And as a matter of fact, if you want to do the math, 2 things can be true. Micah Parsons is an absolutely great pass rusher and great player. But the Cowboys would not have been better had Micah Parsons been here right now. They wouldn't have been better. I'm not sure if they'd have been necessarily better. Dante Fowler has been an absolute disappointment. Sam Williams has not yet been what the Cowboys thought he was going to be. Donovan Ezeraku, a rookie, we kind of understand. But when you look at this Cowboys defense, it was worst last year almost. It was worse. And Micah Parsons was here. I want you to look at Micah Parsons' contribution. And a lot of people, they're going to start talking about stat nerds, and they're going to start talking about the stats don't tell the whole story. They're going to start saying that the numbers don't matter. No, the numbers don't lie. You need to go to the tape to see the whole story. Maybe you want some Pro Football Focus numbers to get the rest, some of the other part of the story. Maybe you want to talk about the fact of the double teams. Maybe you want to talk about the quarterback pressures. I don't want to hear about the quarterback pressures. We were 3rd, if I'm not mistaken, in quarterback pressures last year. 52 sacks. 12 of those sacks came from Micah Parsons, and we were still terrible. I don't understand why people continue to perpetuate this lie about Micah Parsons. 2 things could be true. He's a great player, but we would not have been better. I'm telling you, we keep lying to ourselves. Micah Parsons only had 1 sack through 3 games. I made a mistake when I reported this the first time, but Micah Parsons only had 1 sack through 3 games. Micah Parsons, he had 3 tackles, 1 assisted, 1 sack. That was the Cleveland Browns. But we went on to find out that the Cleveland Browns were absolutely terrible. Let's look at the next game. The next game against the New Orleans Saints, we got mollywopped. Micah Parsons, 2 solos, 1 assist, 0 sacks. This is with Micah Parsons. Let's look at the next game. Micah Parsons against the Baltimore Ravens. Micah Parsons going against Lamar Jackson, because we're saying that when we played the Eagles, when we played Caleb Williams, he would have been chasing these quarterbacks down. Okay, Micah Parsons, 4 tackles, 1 assist, 0 sacks. We wouldn't have been better. We wouldn't have been better. We were giving up massive amounts of points last year also. Not only were we giving up massive amount of points, we were also, to add insult to injury, we were also getting destroyed in the run game. Let's go backwards. Let's start with the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens, in the third game of the season, ran for a whopping 274 yards. I said this before. The only thing we would be doing right now, especially with this situation going with Matt Eberflus and this defense on the back end, we would only be choosing how we would be getting blown out. Okay, we wouldn't have Kenny Clark. We'd have Micah Parsons. We would be getting gashed in the run game. It would just be the opposite of what we're doing now. Now we're getting a massive amount of passing yards thrown on us, but last year we were getting a massive amount of rushing yards ran on us. Last year, Baltimore Ravens ran 274 yards. Let's go backwards. Let's see what the Saints did. The New Orleans Saints ran for a whopping 190 yards. We figured out the Cleveland Browns after this game were terrible, but they ran for 102 yards. The only thing we would have been doing is choosing how we were going to lose. I really don't understand what we're talking about with this Micah Parsons stuff. Sometimes we create our own narratives. We just make up stuff. Micah Parsons is an incredible pass rusher. And a lot of people will call him a one-trick pony. Because it's not that he doesn't play in the run game, but that is definitely not his strength. His strength is pass rushing. Just last week, the Cleveland Browns beat the Green Bay Packers.
Of course.
Brian, Todd Archer with ESPN. Does it help that your tackles have practiced against Micah the last couple of years with Guyton and Steele and getting ready for a guy like this?
I think at the end of the day, our guys all know Micah, and again, I hope because they know him. But guess what? He knows us, and he knows the way they set. So look, Mike is a great player. Mike is going to make plays. I just put that out there. Like, Mike is going to make plays. Does he get a sack? Shit, I hope not, but he might. It's pretty good. But I think our guys are going knowing we've got a good plan. It takes more than one guy to block Micah, but let's not forget, Rashawn Gary's a hell of a rusher too. I mean, this is a defense that's got incredible speed with Cooper and Walker and Micah and Rashawn, and I mean they're deep and they're fast, and so our ability to have success against the Packers defense will be about a whole lot more than just Micah, because Micah's a great player, but just adding Micah to the mix doesn't negate the fact that they've had really good players there before Micah got there.
And without...
See, this is the part that gets lost in the sauce. Yeah, don't get me wrong, Green Bay is benefiting from Micah Parsons, but Micah Parsons is benefiting from the Green Bay Packers. They already had an incredible defense, and he is nowhere even close to leading the team in sacks. I mean, he's not even close to the leading sacker on their team. Micah Parsons has really just been extra for the Green Bay Packers right now. We don't even really truly know the impact that Micah Parsons is going to have on the Green Bay Packers. We really don't know. They were 11-6 last year. So the first things first, they got to get past 11-6. Will they be 12-5? Will they be 13-4? Even then, okay, how far do they go in the playoffs? Because I'm sorry, adding Micah Parsons with what they gave up, Super Bowl or bust. Some people don't like that, but that's the kind of move it is. Some people were saying, is this going to be the Saquon Barkley move of 2025? Is it? Will anybody dare say that it is? Because they're going to keep the Green Bay Packers in the top 5 as much as they can. I wonder what happens if the Cowboys beat them. And I do think the Cowboys have a very, very good chance of beating the Green Bay Packers, contrary to what people think, especially with them missing 2 of their offensive players on their offensive line. I'm telling you, this game is going to be better and closer than people think. I don't think this is going to be the blowout that people think it is. Some people are actually acting like Micah Parsons is going to come to Dallas and get 10 sacks in one game. We'll see. But I'll tell you this, I'll be releasing another video today after I go live. But I'll be releasing another video today because Brian Schottenheimer has issued a challenge to his team. And the question is, will they answer the challenge? Y'all tell me what you think. All I gave you is the facts. You can love it, like it, or hate it. I don't care. But the Cowboys, we cannot say that the Cowboys would be better right now with Micah Parsons. We can't. You can love it, like it, or hate it. Tell me what you think. Sound off in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Until the next time, TC4L. God bless. Let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.